Welcome, Wanderers. My name is Mark, and tonight we are going to read from Henry IV, Part 1. This is one of my favorite plays. Prince Hal offers a peace deal to the rebels, and his peace deal is this: I fight your best fighter, Hotspur. And that's the whole battle. But this is how the prince says it. In both your armies there is many a soul shall pay full dearly for this encounter if once they join in trial. Tell your nephew, the Prince of Wales doth join with all the world in praise of Henry Percy. That's the rebels' best warrior's name, Henry Percy, he's nicknamed Hotspur because he has a hot temper. By my hopes this present enterprise set off his head. I do not think a braver gentleman, more active, valiant, or more valiant young, more daring, or more bold is now alive to grace this latter age with noble deeds. This is a nice thing to say about Hotspur. This is your enemy. It's like, we're enemies, but I love you, man. More daring or more bold is now alive to grace this latter age with noble deeds. The prince, throughout this play, has not given much indication that he cares much about common people. But in this speech, he shows that he does. He is very concerned that this battle, which really just has to do with us and the rebels, thousands of innocent men are going to die, men who have nothing to do with this. There is many a soul shall pay full dearly for this encounter if once they join in trial. It's a great way to say that, if once they join in trial in both your armies. So what happens here is that the rebels who hear this, actually Hotspur is not there. The person who is there is not Henry Percy, but his uncle, the Earl of Worcester, and his uncle's assistant in this, Sir Richard Vernon, who ranks lower than Worcester. And so Worcester and Vernon go back to the rebel camp. And Worcester says, my nephew, meaning Hotspur, must not know, Sir Richard, of the liberal and kind offer of the king. Because the king backed up his son, Prince Hal, on this offer of the whole thing is going to be single combat. And no matter who wins, you can come back and be our friends again. And Vernon says, 'twere best he did. And Worcester gives a speech, and I won't read the whole speech right now, but basically Worcester doesn't want to tell Hotspur of this deal. And the reason Worcester doesn't want to do it is, he says here, we shall feed like oxen at a stall. I guess he's worried that the king is going to kill him when he least expects it. And perhaps he just doesn't want the king gloating over this or bringing it up, the fact that you rebelled against me and you would have lost had not my son made this gracious offer to you, and we've let you back. Right? You're not back here alive because you beat us. It's because we let this happen. We had pity on you. And Worcester probably just doesn't want to stand for that. But anyway, so Hotspur comes back, and Worcester says to him, the king will bid you battle presently. Totally lies to him. That was not what the king said. But anyway, look what happens to Hotspur, though. Hotspur is a nobleman, and he likes to get into fights with people. But although he doesn't know about the king's terms of peace, Worcester does say that the Prince of Wales, meaning Prince Hal, stepped forth before the king and nephew challenged you to single fight. So Worcester does reveal to Hotspur that the king's son did challenge you to single fight, just doesn't tell him that was supposed to be the whole battle. And Hotspur, hearing this, listen to this. This whole play, Hotspur has not cared anything about common people or anyone except himself, really. Oh, would the quarrel lay upon our heads, and that no man might draw short breath today but I and Harry Monmouth. And Harry Monmouth is another way of referring to Prince Hal. It's amazing. This whole play, Hotspur hasn't cared about anybody. And now, all of a sudden, he says that no man might draw short breath today but I and Harry Monmouth. In other words, Hotspur, he too wishes that this could be single combat. Listen to what he says. Tell me, how showed his tasking? Meaning, what was the prince like when he said this? Seemed it in contempt? In other words, did he say this as if he hated me? And now Vernon steps up. And he's not going to tell Hotspur that this is what the peace deal really was. But Vernon says something else. This is Vernon talking. No, by my soul, I never in my life did hear a challenge urged more modestly, unless a brother should, a brother dare to gentle exercise and proof of arms. He gave you all the duties of a man, trimmed up your praises with a princely tongue, spoke your deservings like a chronicle, making you ever better than his praise by still dispraising praise valued with you. That is amazing. What he's telling Hotspur is that Prince Hal was like, I love you, bro. You are awesome. That's so amazing. Unless a brother should, a brother dare to gentle exercise and proof of arms. That's so amazing. You think about a brother should, a brother dare, as if they're two brothers. And gentle exercise and proof of arms. I think the image here is one of as if they're going to go out and one brother invites the other brother, like, hey, look, come on, let's go out and spar for a while. We'll sword fight, but we won't really be trying to kill each other. We're just trying to practice. So it'll be rough, but we won't be trying to kill each other. And the only reason I'm asking you is because I know that you are worthy of helping me to get better, but I actually don't want to kill you. I don't want to hurt you at all. I love you, man. And love you, brother. And it's a praise beyond praise, which is what that line means, making you ever better than his praise by still dispraising praise value with you, which is a kind of complicated line, kind of line that Shakespeare likes to use a lot of this balancing of opposites and comparisons and things. But pretty much what he's saying is that what he gave you makes what most people call praise a kind of a dispraise compared to what he paid you. There's that the word praise doesn't even cover it. That's just amazing.